The universe isn't just out there, it's interacting with you. Claim your power by embracing the unknown. This is Tracy with Tracy Talks, and I'm here to ignite your curiosity. Don't just listen, embrace it. It's time to do the dream inventory. I am doing a dream inventory. I am writing out all of the things that are in my heart. I've never done this before. I've never listed out all of those things that are stored in the back of my head. You know, those dreams that you think eventually one day I'm going to do this, I want to do this, I want to do this, and they just stay back there. And we never put them on paper, we never create an actual plan, we never really consider what needs to happen to make those dreams come true. No more. I've put everything on the list. I'm going to really look at the list. Try to prioritize it in what do I really need to do. And I've gone back to my childhood because there's some of these that were planted in me from a very early age. And I've written them down. It can be scary to write them down. Depending on who is in our space, who has access to our journals, hopefully you're surrounded by people you trust. And I know that's a consideration. I haven't always been in that space where I felt like my words were safe. There were prying eyes. That feeling of being vulnerable has also kept me from writing things out. But this is an important step. Like, I have to get this out of my head and out of my heart and onto the paper. Even as difficult as it is, I can now look at this list and see if I'm still pointed in the right direction. Am I doing things today that are leading me to these accomplishments on my list? And even though, we can't always know all of the steps. I don't know when I walk out of the house if it's going to be one of those random times where I cross paths with somebody. And in that moment, something changes, my awareness changes. I connect with someone who redirects my attention. I know when I'm doing things that aren't going to lead me in the direction of my dreams. And isn't that the case for a lot of us? When we're allowing ourselves to be distracted, to be interrupted, aren't a lot of you like me and you know in your heart, this isn't good and I shouldn't be doing it? Can you do me a favor? Can you subscribe and share? It really helps me out. But now that I have them on the paper, I can look at them. I can create a plan. I can start taking action and steps towards these. Several years ago, I had spent a lot of time and energy focusing on my physical well-being and my fitness. I really wanted to run a marathon. And I hadn't really jogged ever before when I was younger. I didn't just jog for exercise, for the fun of it, whatever. It wasn't something that I necessarily enjoyed doing. Later in life, I learned to appreciate going on a run. I appreciated how my body changed, how it felt, the strength that I was able to develop. And then somewhere along the way, I thought, you know what? It would be a really good idea to run a marathon. And life happens, just life. It was one of those dreams that I talked about. I was in my marriage era. And it was one of those moments when you learn the critical understanding of having people who support you. And as much as sometimes people say that they will support you, their actions don't necessarily follow along with their words. And I don't even know where the seed was planted, where I said, I think it'd be a good idea to run a marathon. I think that just came from this wanting to challenge my body and push myself to know that I could do it. Some of these dreams that are on my list right now, some of these I've had in my heart since I was a young person, which means that they were there long before the I should run a marathon. But a lot of these are going to take a lot of help and assistance from other people. Whereas the marathon, that was solely, and this fact that other people need to come together, need to help me. There's more doubt that some of these will develop in real life. So instead of focusing on the things that I really want, I found a dream like running a marathon, which was an individual event. I was the one who was going to need to train and transform my body and commit the time and the energy. And it was something that I could do on my own. And when I look back, I realize it wasn't the most important thing for me, but it was one of the few things that I had complete control over. And some of these on the list are going to require a lot of different pieces to come together. It's going to require more people to help me for situations to align, to crisscross, to intersect. So I created this fake dream so I could feel like I'm still doing something in the meantime until some of these other things can take off and can grow and develop. And it can be painful to write these on the paper and list them out. What if they don't happen? What if there's disappointment? But then, what if this is the one step that's keeping them? Like, what if this is the step that starts that momentum? Writing them down, looking at them, reinforcing in myself that, yes, I can do these things. It has always been a little frightening for me to put things on paper. And that's just from the fact that the people that have been around me didn't really support me. They said they did, but it didn't feel like it. You have those people around you who say things, and they say that they're coming from a loving, supportive place, and it just doesn't feel like that. It feels hurtful. I have them on the paper. I'm not going to share them. I'm still going to keep them protected and safe. But they're now visible to me, where I can remind myself, this is why I'm doing what I'm doing. These have been in my heart for a very long time. And I'm going to flesh a couple of these out even more, because there's times where I just use general terms, like we can say, I just want to be happy. Well, what does happy mean? And break that down and define it and be very specific. What are the things that I want and need to be happy? What does it mean to be loved? What does it mean to be supported? And I really just need to support myself. Is how I'm spending my time getting me closer to these dreams? And if they aren't, I mean, there's time for fun and there's time for getting lost in the moment. But we're the only ones that can make our dreams come true. And I don't want to look back and think, why didn't I do that? Why didn't I take action? Why didn't I believe in myself enough to just do it? Thank you for listening to this episode of Tracy Talks. Remember to rate, review, and subscribe and share with others who would enjoy listening to this podcast. Friends can find Tracy Talks available on iTunes, Spotify, Substack, and YouTube. Hit me up on Instagram and Facebook at More Tracy Talks. And until next time, we meet again.